weighed on financial markets for the last few weeks. Today, I'm going to discuss, the events of this past weekend and what we have ahead of us this week that will help shape those conversations going forward. I'm Michael Reinking, coming to you live from the trading floor of the New York Stock Exchange. So we did start this week off with a little bit of a relief rally, though we've given up some of those gains. That was led primarily by the financials, and it was just as much about what didn't happen over the weekend as we didn't have any new negative headlines as it was what did happen. So we did see the FDIC sell some of the SVB assets, and we also got reports that authorities were considering expanding some of the emergency lending facilities that were created just a couple of weeks ago, to help out banks shore up their balance sheets in the near term. Now, as we look forward, we have a very big event over the next 2 days as we have the congressional hearings about the failed banks, with officials from the Treasury, the FDIC, and the Federal Reserve. At those hearings, we're going to hear about, how things transpired, and there will be a lot of questions as to how this was not picked up within the current regulatory framework. Now, that will open up conversations which will clearly have, some partisan opinions about, what that regulatory framework, should look like as we move forward. But the other big question for equity markets, is whether there is bipartisan support within Congress to change the FDI insurance framework, right? So hopefully we'll start to get some answers to those questions, throughout this week. Now, U.S. equity markets have been pretty resilient, since this episode started a couple of weeks ago, and that's due in large part, to the movement of cash back into kind of the mega cap tech stocks, which have these defensive, perceived defensive qualities, with their fortress balance sheets, cash flows, and the fact that yields have moved sharply lower over the last couple of weeks. That's something to pay attention to right now, because we've had the 2-year yield bounce about 40 basis points off of Friday's lows, and that's weighing on some of those stocks today. So as we move forward this week, something to pay attention to. I will be back with you